At the start of this block, the plan was to end this project in 8 or 9 weeks. Due to this deadline, there was a lot less room for iterating on visuals and error. We had to work fast and perform as well as we could under the pressure of this nearing deadline. I have worked on this project for quite some time now, so luckily I have no problem with adjusting to the project's art style now. Using the knowledge I gained in previous blocks, I tried to create as much of the UI assets in our asset list as I could. It was difficult to keep the level of quality high enough so that the new visuals would blend in with the rest of the UI elements due to the little time that I had. Some assets came out better than others, but the mentality that the leads had was to move on quickly so that the game might be finished on time. It taught me not to iterate and work too much so that no time was lost. Lucky for the team and our project, we have found a way to add some more time to our previous deadline, so now we might be able to polish things a little more in Block C. In Block A, I started using Substance Designer for the first time. Due to time constraints caused by the deadlines of our project, I did not have a lot of time left to work on these textures. In order to make sure I would still learn new things about this program during this block, I created textures in my free time using tutorials I found on lynda.com. These tutorials or courses had a setup that was a lot more professional than the ones I found on YouTube in the previous block and used to create my first substances. They made me go back to basics. And I learned that I had skipped out on learning how to properly set up the program before creating substances. Also, it taught me how to keep the network of nodes clean and easy to read, as well as which nodes are better to avoid in certain situations due to their high memory usage. The end results show itself not so much in the growth of the visual qualities of my new textures, but in a better knowledge of the functions of this program. From now on, I will be able to create Substance Designer files that should be easier to use and read by other users of the program, and a lot less hard to use in actual game engines. I have been working on my portfolio website for a little while now. Since I have no knowledge or skills that directly relate to web design and page building, I have had a hard time while working on this objective. I tried several things to make the website usable on mobile devices, but the setup of the theme that I am building from prevents me from using the results of my research and makes a lot of plugins unusable. I have had some correspondence with the creator of the WordPress theme to try and find a solution to some of my problems together. Meanwhile, I translated the text I wrote for my website and my CV and prepared all the visuals I want to use. When I find the solution to my problems, I will have everything ready to be uploaded. During Block B, I used the workload template that is recommended by the NHTV staff, as opposed to the workload I was using before that was provided by my team leads. This was recommended by a study coach since it was a lot more easy to use. This was a small change in my workflow at first, but I started to actually use the document for planning purposes a lot more frequently as a result. It really helped me to create and manage a good planning. I have created a self-reflection document for this block, using the recommended method and also the star method. During my previous block, I noticed that I had a lot to learn when it comes to communication skills and creating and adhering to a manageable planning. With the help of a study coach, some friends, and several members of the team I was working for, I managed to put the things that I learned in Block A to the test in this block. Since I learned a lot from doing this, I felt the need to elaborate while I was writing the self-reflection, so that I can use this information later. hence my use of the star method, besides the normal format.